Hey everyone, what's up? This is Samantha. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you are here. I wanted to do a nightly routine with diabetes video because I realized that always my daily routines are very morning heavy, and that's because I have a really big morning routine that I do every day, but I don't have a big night routine. I guess one that I repeat a lot. My nights look different every single night. I want to give you an idea of my nightly routine of living with type 1 diabetes. So it's almost 8 o'clock here in Denver, and my nightly routine is a little bit different when it comes to winter versus summer. So, as you know, it is getting a little bit warmer here finally. And so it is lighter outside. The sun is actually, not setting until later. So, in the summer, I tend to stay up a little bit later. However, most nights I am actually a early bed type of gal. If you've watched any of my morning routine videos, you know I wake up pretty early. I wake up around 5 a.m. every single day. So my nightly routine, I tend to go to bed early as well. In the winter, I go to bed around 8 p.m. And what I mean by that is I'm not sleeping at 8, everybody. Okay. I'm not sleeping at 8 p.m., but I am in bed at 8 p.m. I tend to watch TV before bed or read before bed. So I'm not sleeping at 8, but I get in bed at 8 during the winter. And honestly, it's just because it's dark out and it's really hard for me to stay up. I'm like, might as well just go to sleep. And so that's what I do in the winter. However, now that it's getting light out, I'm still up, guys, and it's almost 8 p.m. So here we are. I'm doing the video for you, 8 p.m. That's big. That is big news. But even during the summer, I would say I'm in bed by 9. And I still watch TV before bed, so I'm not sleeping usually until 10:30 in the summer, but I am in bed at 9 p.m. So I want to tell you a little bit about my night so far, and I'm going to start with dinner. So we ate dinner at around, I think it was like 6:30. My fiance went and swam, and so I was waiting for him to get back from his workout to start cooking. It was really nice today in Denver. It was about 80 degrees. So we decided to make some brats with corn on the cob and asparagus. So we grilled all of that on the roof around 6:30 p.m. Of course, that's not normal. It's we do grill more in the summer just because it's nice out, but we do, I guess, eat around 6:30 every single night. And it's funny that I'm bringing this up today because we had brats, which, as you know, are pretty fat heavy and just they're not the best type of meat that you can eat. And when I was first diagnosed, I'll never forget this. I actually ate, it was when you had to like start keeping track of everything you were eating so you could bring it to your diabetes educator and like discuss, how everything is going. And when I was first diagnosed, I had a brat. And my diabetes educator basically told me that I shouldn't be eating brats. And I was so confused because I was like, why not? Like, I don't understand. And she basically just said, like, we have a higher chance of like heart disease and, problems with our heart. So we need to not eat as much fatty foods. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, I know nothing about health. Like, I had no idea that brats weren't healthy. But anyway, after talking to a bunch of my friends that have type 1 diabetes, brats are okay to eat, everybody. Okay, you're allowed to eat a brat. On a summer day when it's nice out, you can eat a brat. Just don't be eating brats every day for the rest of your life, okay? Brats as an everyday meal are not the best option. However, we can still eat brats. We can still eat hot dogs. We can do it. It just almost blew my mind that the diabetes educator told me that back in the day. Anyway, clearly I did not listen to her because I had a brat tonight and it was amazing. If you like brats, it's the season, right? For brats, like in baseball. Like, yeah. Anyway, so we had a brat. I had it with a tortilla because I am gluten-free now, and the only buns we had were wheat filled, so I couldn't eat that. So I wrapped it in a tortilla and put some ketchup on it, and then we grilled corn on the cob. Love corn on the cob. Another not so friendly diabetic food is corn, just because it's super starchy. And it was another food that I was told to avoid by the diabetes educator, but here I am. I love corn. It's one of my favorite veggies, and I know it's not really a veggie or like it doesn't have any of the nutrients that typical veggies have, but they're just so good. But we also ate asparagus, so that was my one health of choice tonight. And so we ate that on the roof around 6:30. I took 1 unit of insulin, mostly for the tortilla that I used. Everything else actually was not really high carb. So got to be a little careful with it because of all the fat. But I'm going to be watching my blood sugars throughout the night, of course. When I started eating, my blood sugars were about 95. Now, so it's about an hour and a half later from when we ate, and it's at 151. So it's peaking, but it's leveled out. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's leveled out. So here I can show you on my actual phone. So hopefully, I won't have to deal with this later in the night. Can you see that? I was just not wanting to work. Well, you can kind of see the number, right? That's the other good thing about eating earlier in the night if you live with type 1 diabetes. Your second spike is kind of like how I like to call it. That will happen earlier. The earlier you eat, your spike will happen earlier as well, that you can manage it, and it's just a lot easier. If you eat really late, like if I were to eat right now and then go to bed in an hour, I might not witness that spike, and I might be sleeping during that spike, and all that jazz. You don't want to do any of that. That's never fun, waking up in the middle of the night and having to take insulin. That's the worst. So I like to eat dinner a little bit earlier. Obviously, it doesn't work out that way sometimes if we're going out with friends or whatever the case may be, and life is life. We got to live our lives. Even with type 1 diabetes, you can't plan everything out to a T. So when I'm at home, I try to control my meals a little bit more, eating earlier, eating healthier foods. Obviously, today wasn't one of them, but I try when I can to eat healthier foods. And then I usually take it easy. So I usually just relax on the couch. I read, I watch a movie, I watch a sporting event, whatever the case may be. I really like to relax after dinner, whether that be on the couch, whether that be in my bed, whatever. That's usually what I do. Now that it's getting warmer out, I might start going on more walks, like taking my dog out for longer because it's nice out now. And we'll see. But tonight, gonna just go ahead after this and go lay in bed and take it easy for the rest of the night. So I do not take my Basaglar at night. I know a lot of people that are on MDI pens do take their long lasting at night. I do not. I take mine in the morning, so I don't have to take any more insulin for tonight unless, something were to happen with my blood sugars and they just go sky high, which hopefully they don't based on what I ate. They shouldn't, but you never really know with diabetes. So I'll be watching that. But other than that, I mean, that is my nightly routine, guys. It's really not anything exciting, and it really does change every day depending on what I'm doing. But if I'm at home, I tend to eat around 6:30. I relax after we eat, and then I go to bed. My fiance and I are really, really big watch TV before bed people, and I know that's not good. I know, but we love it. It's like we look forward to it. So right now we're actually watching Succession on HBO. It's okay. I like it, but I kind of feel like the problems are just like repeating themselves. Like, I don't know if you've watched it, you know what I mean. It's just kind of like the same issue over and over again. And so it's just one of those. But we're going to finish it because I think we only have maybe a season left or something. So we'll finish that. But that's what we look forward to because that's our time together that we can spend, me, my fiance, and our dog. So that is the plan for the rest of the night. And I know this was not an exciting video by any means. It's probably one of the worst I've ever created. But I always do morning routine videos. And I was like, you know what? I need to talk more about my night. But the reason now you probably understand why my day in the life videos are pretty boring when I get to the nighttime is because my life gets kind of boring at night. Anyway, let's check my levels one more time before I sign off. Oh, it's 148. Gosh, I wish you guys could see that better. Oh, there we go. 148. So it's already going back down a tiny bit. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a better nightly routine than I do. I'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.